that inner reflection work. A lot of Black women around me, we're going to therapy.
So inspired by sisters who are pursuing their dreams.
You got to have at least one. You definitely got to have at least one to get through.
I don't know of any other group that can understand my pain and my sadness other than another Black woman.
So I know I said it was a 4-part series. I forgot that we finished off talking about Black women's triumph and how we actually overcome Black women's pain. And lo and behold, all of the answers were again about relationships. So it really speaks for itself. No need to linger here, but thank you for joining us and enjoy the bonus episode, Black Women's Triumph. So that being said, we're still here. We're killing it. We're killing it in business, starting businesses. We're killing it in our education. Somehow a lot of these kids that are being raised without their dads, by single women who they're not eating so their kids can eat. And you know what I mean? I mean, somehow there's some that are breaking through and actually being successful, and somehow we're doing it. So I want to hear from each of you on this one, because these are our closing thoughts before I give you guys a chance just to tell us where we can, hear more from you and everything. How would you say, Lourdes, how are we doing it? How are Black women triumphing over pain? What's working for us?
The help of the good Lord. As I think about the Black women in my life who, when I look at like my immediate circle, I have friends who are principals, who are soldiers, who are business owners, just in every sphere. They're lawyers, they're doctors. Like my own sister is a director of a daycare. She has her own business. And my other sister is a lawyer, track star. Like it just, and we were not a part of the bubble of women who had Black men who protected us. It was like, we were raised by strong Black women, and the grace of God. So I think about the women and like how successful they are. Like they all are women of faith, and they are all women who have been like, I know that I need something that is greater than myself. Like the world does not allow me to be weak. The world does not allow me to be vulnerable. The world doesn't see me that way. So I know that when I go in my closed doors, whether that's through prayer, meditation, like I need to be able to be soft, and I need a place where I can break. I think a lot of the women that I see who are successful is that they have that faith that when I go into my quiet place, I'm allowed to break, and I'm allowed to be soft, and I'm allowed to, show my scars to someone that sees it and cares about it. And then, okay, now I get to wipe my face off. I let it out, and now I get to go and conquer the world. The other thing is like, we have very strong support systems of other women, other Black women. And for me, like the big thought that's been resonating in my mind throughout this whole episode is like, you can only see what you're looking for. So Black women see each other because we're looking for each other. Or like I look at myself in the mirror, so I see myself, so I'm looking for things that look like me. So I'm able to notice her pain. I'm able to notice like, oh girl, wait, I know you had a bad hair day. Your Bantu knot didn't come out. Girl, I know, like, I know. Yes, it's okay. Let's just stop everything. I hear you. You're having a bad day. So like we are able to see that because we're looking for those things. So I think about all the women who I do know are successful and do overcome their pain. It's like they have those other women around them that are looking for them and see them. And then I think it's just like that inner reflection work. A lot of Black women around me, we're going to therapy. We're trying to unlearn our baggage. We're going to the counselors. We're, getting the books and trying to like really dig deep with like, why am I the way I am? Like why have I played into the angry Black woman stereotype? Like,
Mm.
why do I respond to certain situations in certain ways? And it's like, it's really, I'm actually not angry. I'm actually hurt. And I'm being able to name that and say that. So I think like it's just been, growth elements. So yeah, so faith, community, and self-reflection.
Okay. I like it. Yep. Okay, Erin.
I can just copy and paste that.
Right, yeah, no, you covered it. I feel like you covered. Those are all themes. I mean, maybe not the therapy part. Definitely faith and family and community. But I'm sure they had it in their own way.
And I just see a lot of Black women around me killing it in their careers. Just like I am so inspired by sisters who are pursuing their dreams, starting their businesses. I mean, in Memphis, I don't know about the United States, but here in Memphis, Black women are the number one, new business owners in the city.
That's generally true in the United States. That we're starting businesses at a higher rate than just about anybody else. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of like a we don't die, we multiply. So
Kind of like that. All right.
And I've just seen so many of us who've been unstoppable, and not only that, like successful, but available. Like shout out Melody Gardner, in my life, and just shared her wisdom, giving me her time. She don't have to do that.
So many crowns waiting for her, honey.
So many.
So many crowns. Girl, you're gonna have to wear some on your shoulders.
Thank you.
So women that are doing it, but are not looking, that are also looking back,
So important. All right, Melody.
Yeah, I've often said that if I didn't, I'll start with my relationship with the Lord. If I wasn't gut-wrenchingly honest with the Lord, I probably would have walked away by now. And so I think that level of knowing that I'm accepted completely by the Lord came from my dad. Because I would say at this stage of my life, the only man that has ever accepted me just as I am has been my father. And I've had so many, whether it was white men who flirted with me but was never going to take me home to meet their mom, or it was just Black men who were like, "You're cute," but they just were not willing to receive me and accept me as I came. That I'm just like, I think it started with my dad, and then it continued with the Lord. That I know that no matter how upset and angry I am with the Lord, that I'm able to go there with Him. And then of course it leads to, I'd always say, if your honesty with the Lord doesn't lead to worship, then it was just a rant and a complaining session, and that's bad. But it's usually the ability to be vulnerable and honest does lead to worship, because you really don't feel condemned, and as a result you're able to have a thankful heart for where you are and what you're doing. And but also just practical things. I've journaled since I was 20. And in my journals, I like it if I were to pass away right now, there's like, those shoe boxes that you can buy to kind of carry things and put stuff in. I probably have 7 or 8 of them just with journals.
Wow.
And so I feel like that's a practical way of getting things out. And then I just have beautiful girlfriends who are willing to listen and willing to empathize and just care, even though they might not know what exactly I'm experiencing. They're willing to sit there and listen and then pray for me. And so I just am so grateful for it. And I'm just like, I don't know of any other group that can understand like my pain and my sadness other than another Black woman. And it's like I may want a Black man to get it, but it's almost like almost like the movie. It was you just want to, in a sense, protect people. And you know that that other person, whether it's a Black male or another white female or white male or whatever,
Or
either
Black children.
there's going to be people, yes, children, they're either not going to get it, and then you're going to sit there feeling like I just talked and there was a wall, or you're like, I don't want to dump this on another person, you know, who I know once they leave this door, they're going to be experiencing all kinds of stuff out there.
Right.
And so there's only really one other group that really gets it, and it's another Black woman. And so I'm so eternally grateful for my Black female friends, whether they're younger or older, it doesn't matter to me. I feel like that everyone gets it. And so
Yes, yeah. I feel like if we were to poll, 100 or 1,000 successful Black women, that they would echo the things that you all have said, that faith is still a strong foundation for most Black women, that family, still being important, community still being important. Those are things that are threads that have come all the way through. And I feel like if you were to talk to Black women who have not held up as well under the system of oppression, who have succumbed. And I'm not saying this in judgment, because I can't bring myself to judge people who succumb to a system that was designed to hold them down. Like that just means it works. But that they didn't probably have those go-tos. They didn't have those things. You got to have at least one. You definitely got to have at least one to get through, because nobody is an island. And I can tell you, I think having all of those things, I've had strong Black women in my life who loved me tenderly, nurtured me, held me to a high standard. I've had strong Black men in my life who provided, who protected, who did all those things that, I don't care how feminist you are, you ain't gonna be mad if a man does that for you. Like, we like it when somebody's doing it, and not using it to control, but doing it to, just to nurture and to care. I came to the faith as a child, and let me tell you something. So there's two things that work in my favor. No matter what I've pursued in my life, I've always been told I have a lot of confidence. Well, admittedly, one of those things come from just being Jamaican, because you can't tell us nothing, and that's just how we are. But that wouldn't have held up on its own. Honestly, I believed the gospel when I was a little girl. So you couldn't have told me that you are more human than, and I know some people have toxic experiences with the way that the gospel has been presented to them. It's like very, condemning and just negative. But I received it as lovingly created by God, that I'm so valuable, that he sent his son to die for me, that I'm a sinner just like everybody else, and everybody's a sinner just like me. Like, great equalizer. Like, you could never for the rest of my life make me feel less human, less valuable, less anything, because if God said this is who I am and this is what I am, and if God has ascribed this level of worth to me, like, nobody literally was ever going to tell me otherwise. Like, I believed it in my heart of hearts as a child, and that laid a serious foundation. And also, if I felt like God was cutting a path for me, like, I just didn't expect you to be able to block my way. Like, who are you? You know what I mean?
Exactly. I don't have time.
Yes, that faith thing is so important. Like, it really is. And also, like, that opening the door for me to, like, having a healthy channel and outlet for my trauma, for my woes, so that I don't have to be, using unhealthy means to deal with those things, like competing with other women or getting into negative relationships with men who are disrespect. Let a man disrespect me. Like, do you know I'm a child of God? Like, are you for real? Like, you know who you got to deal with if you disrespect me? Like, it just wouldn't happen. So, I think that those are themes that I didn't intentionally write into the film of faith, family, and community. But if you even study Black history, like, those are consistent themes through the Black community overcoming. And those are things that we need to continue to perpetuate and hold on to, and not allow, the media gatekeepers to tell a different story and start believing it. because then we'll crumble. It's a divide and conquer, and we can't afford that. So anyway, thank you, ladies, for joining me. I am going to include all of your links, websites, hashtags, whatever, in the notes to this episode. But for those who are listening, please just give us, where do we find your resource? Where do we connect with you, social media or for business or whatever? I'll start with you, Melody.
Yes, well, you can go to thecityinc.com if you want any more guidance on how to become more effective in your fundraising. And then you can go to amazon.com and purchase either ebook or paperback and soon audiobook, Christianity and Politics. And I think you will enjoy the Facebook Live sessions each Thursday morning at 11:18 if you want to join.
All right. If you are interested in discussing social issues from a thoughtful and nuanced point of view, which is the way I like to do it, then that is a great resource, everybody, because, this is a very polarized world we're living in, but things really aren't that black and white all the time. So, okay. Erin.
Yes. You can follow me on Instagram at Erin Rochelle Cole. And if you want information on how to be a more effective storyteller through film, video, plays, on-stage communication, any type of communication, you can visit artwithoutheartbeat.org.
All right. Thank you, Erin. And Lourdes, can you tell us where to find your podcast? Anything else?
Sure. You can go to my website, LourdesAnita.com. I'm a writer over there, so you can read my blog, get all the tips and tricks in my life. And then for the City Image podcast, you can follow us on all platforms, Spotify, iTunes. We're out there.
Okay, you all, thank you so much. We are all tired, yawning, and falling asleep. Everybody go to bed. Y'all be blessed. I'll let you know when I post it. Good night.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for our series, Black Women's Pain, Episode 2, How It Is Created, Consumed, and Felt. And I'm so glad we got to end on an encouraging note. I hope you guys were encouraged by it. I hope you enjoyed the discussion, that maybe you even learned something. Please join us for the rest of our Unsung Issues series. Our next episode is So You Want to Be an Ally, and it's discussing white allyship. I think you guys will really enjoy that too, and I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. Please hit like if you liked us. Please comment below if there's anything that you wanted to add about your Black joy. If there's anything that you wanted to add really about anything about the series or about this episode, we'd love to hear from you. We love it when other people join our discussion. And finally, please subscribe and hit that follow button with that little bell to be notified when more Unsung Issues episodes drop. Thanks again.